You have 168 hours to live. What do you do?
Let's discuss that today on the show.
So right out of the gate, guys, we want to say that we mentioned in the very first episode that we wanted to keep things light, but that if there was a dark topic that came along, that it was okay, and we would try to put a spin on it. Well, today I'm going to tell you right out of the gate that today's episode is going to be a little dark. Now, if we can make it, if we can throw some jokes in there every so often, so be it. But overall, this is going to be a dark topic.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep the theme this week. We started out, this was our apocalyptic theme. Famous last words, nightmare scenarios that almost came true. So we're going to wrap it up this week with, you have 168 hours. The world has 168 hours left.
That is 7 days. You have
days.
7 days.
Now, for this, we're going to say it's a rogue meteor or a rogue comet, something that we cannot affect. Not like a nuclear disaster or a nuclear war or anything, or a mythical thing like a zombie apocalypse. This is a real-world scenario.
This is an extinction event with 0% chance of getting out of it. So in 7 days, humanity will be wiped off the face of this planet.
Yeah.
So here's what we think would happen on a day-to-day basis. So starting with the first day and going all the way through to the end, how we think that this would all play out.
Yeah.
Now, again, as we always say, this is just our opinion. So, you don't have to jump in there and be like, well, I disagree. Oh, it's okay. That's what we're doing. We're opening up a debate, opening up a conversation, and we want your feedback.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, by all means, if you have something, if there's something that we miss, or something you disagree with, feel free. Let us know
in the comments below. Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off first day 1.
Well, first let's look at some of the facts here.
Some of the facts. Okay. Some of the facts. Extinction level event. The first thing that's going to happen, guys, is there's not going to be any food or any pharmaceuticals. That's going to happen really quick.
Right out of the gate. That's going to be the first things to get lit.
You walk into your super centers, your super Targets, your Sam's Clubs, your Costco,
food,
whatever the case may be.
Pharmaceuticals, gas, and guns. Those 4 things.
Gone.
Forget
it.
It
will literally be gone within hours. So if you don't get where you need to be, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
I literally, for those people in the city, they probably have a chance. But if you live out in the country, you're on your own.
Now, what people don't realize is that without people manning the controls, power will actually run out. I mean, power doesn't just run all by itself. Now, the hydropower, wind, stuff like that, nuclear, those will run longer. But for the most part, electricity, I mean, we're talking, what did it came down to within a matter of a day or two.
A day or two. Now, wind and solar and hydroelectric, that's going to stay as long as power poles are going to be there. So if you have your own solar panels on your roof, you've got a chance.
Otherwise, the rest of us are going to be in the dark for most of the week.
Most of the week.
So here's what we think. Day 1. I personally think that you're going to see day 1, it hasn't really sunk in yet. So you're going to see some looting in your big cities, New York, LA, places like that. Smaller cities, so say here in Springfield, really not going to be a lot going on. The shock of it, the reality of it hasn't had time to really sink in yet. So everybody's going to be like, well, surely they're going to send Bruce Willis and his crew up with a drilling team, and
surely the government has got a plan
something
to save us.
Something they're going to work. Someone will save us. Day 2 rolls around, and
let's go back to day 1 because I don't specifically agree with you on that one.
Okay.
I think it's going to be location dependent. I agree with you, but I also agree that it's also going to be based upon what's around the people. Here in the Midwest, we're very religious oriented. I don't think it's going to be 48 hours or so before people start to do that looting because they're going to be expecting a miracle, or B, they're going to be expecting the government to save them. But it's when that sinks in day 2 for me, that's when things are going to hit the fan.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you'll see the looting is going to be centralized to your big cities. I mean, we've already seen like the LA riots back in the 90s and stuff like that. Doesn't take much to set people off. So, not that that was a small thing by any means, but what I'm saying is that any small trigger will trigger that type of thing, riots and looting and that type of thing. So, hey, the world's going to die in 7 days. People are going to take to the streets immediately in those big cities. Yeah. Now, I think we're saying the same thing, just wording it differently. But yes, I agree that it's going to be dependent on what's around you, and that's why I'm saying the big cities is where you're going to see the problem. In smaller cities and stuff like that, you might see some small scale stuff, but it's not going to be anything that you can't just lock your front door and stay away from.
So let's move on to day 2, guys. Day 2. 24 hours has passed.
Day 2, the looting is going to take a bit of a step up. Now, one thing we didn't think to mention was pretty much right out of the gate, I think the military is going to be coming out, martial law, all that type of stuff.
Be trying to impose. The government organizations are going to want to impose martial law. That way they make sure that their food chain, they stay. Right.
So anybody who's enlisted in any way, shape, or form, they're all going to be called in. So you're going to have martial law. You're going to have military in the streets everywhere. So that's going to be just there for your protection. You're going to start to see people fighting back against that in day 2, I think. Mm-hmm. Day 2, people are going to be like, you know what? Screw this. I got a week to live. I mean, they say that there are the 2 most dangerous types of people in this world are people who fanatically believe in something. So don't take me wrong when I say religious nuts, but religious nuts. I don't mean religious people. I mean you're fanatics. Westboro.
Yeah, Westboro.
Those type of people. And people who have nothing left to lose. Well, now that's all of us.
Yeah, that's all of us.
So you're going to see people starting to fight back against that military thing. Now your looting is going to start to spread.
And it's going to spread like a wildfire.
Oh, God,
it's going to spread like locusts
absolutely
eating everything. I mean, it's going to definitely start in the heart of all these cities, and it's going to go out and go out and go out until finally the point of the fact is that you're going to have people who are very rural farmers who aren't going to have anything. But they may actually be the
because
ones
now we have to take into account that again, the first things that are going to go: food, pharmaceuticals, guns, and gas. Your everyday average Joe is going to need those things. Mm-hmm. He's still going to feed his family. We still got to take our medicine. We're going to want to get to see our loved ones. Yeah. Things like that. So now you've got the people that are just regular people, don't have a violent bone in their body, but they got to do something to get to those things so they can take care of their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, 48 hours, this is also when I think the religious nuts, the fanatics, are going to start coming out of the woodwork. Now, at this point in time, it's going to just be save as many as you can. I mean, you're going to have people flocking to every church in existence in droves.
Yeah, in droves. It's going to be
trying to get right with God because, well, you got no time left. I mean, this is it. So trying to save as many people as they can. Now, you're also going to have the other faction of it that's like, Crusades Part 2, basically.
Yeah, basically they're going to try to avenge everything that doesn't line up with their beliefs. Now, that's not right, that's not wrong, that's their beliefs, and again, that's not...
And that's, again, where we're going with the fanatics here. These are not just your everyday, regular religious people. Day 3 rolls around, I think you're going to start to see a little bit of a lull. A little bit.
I have to agree. I think day 3 is going to be the lull in it all because, let's face it, in today's modern society, we are very now-oriented. How quick can something get to us? The 30-minute pizza sometimes, guys, can seem like an age ago.
Right.
So I'm thinking that...
Scoochie.
Yes, Scoochie.
He has the hiccups.
Aww. Bellatrix has the hiccups.
So I think day 3, people are going to get bored. Honestly, they're going to get bored.
Well, they're going to get bored, and the initial shock of it is starting to set in. Those people that were looking for a miracle are starting to doubt whether or not that's going to happen. And honestly, a lot of the initial looting and stuff like that is going to come from a shock of Well, okay. Let me put this spin on it. If you were to ask me personally, what would I do during that week? I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be excess and ecstasy. I mean, I want to be around. I'm not going to go crazy by any means. I'm not going to go out and loot or nothing like that. I want to be around as many of my loved ones as possible and pretty much just throw just the craziest freaking party for the next week that anyone's ever heard of. And just have as much fun and enjoy as much of my time left on this earth as I possibly can. So I say excess and ecstasy because I'm not going to go out and try heroin or what. I honestly don't know, but I want to try. I just want to try everything. I mean, I'm not going to go out and go try a bunch of stupid drugs and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about. This wouldn't be an option at this point, but I always wanted to skydive. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, and I probably would try a few drugs, just because there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose at this point. I mean, what's the worst that could happen is something goes wrong and I die early. Oh no. I'm gonna die anyway. So hey, I just had a gnat fly into my eye.
I'm on that same scale, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I would probably.
And that sounds bad. That sounds way worse.
This is a nightmare scenario where you literally have 168 hours to live.
Yeah, I mean, and it sounds worse to say it than it sounds in my own head. But
I'm with Shmoo on this. I would want to be around my friends and family, and I'd want to just.
I think it would basically boil down to I'm not going to go out and actively look for stupid things to do. But if something stupid came my way,
I would do it.
Sure.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah.
So day 3, we're still on day 3.
That's where I was. That's the spin I was putting on it. So day 3, I think you're going to see some of that lull because a lot of people are going to do that. They're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to die, so I'm just going to go out and do a bunch of stupid stuff. So you do that in the first couple of days, and then what? You're
boredom begins.
I did it. So what? I can do it again, I guess.
Yeah. Why?
But now let's just let's call some friends over. Let's get something going. So now your giant, just ridiculously, let's face it, the coolest, the most awesome parties you're ever going to see that have ever existed are going to happen starting now. Yeah. Day 3, day 4.
Day 3, day 4 are going to be because
these groups are starting to come together.
We've got into this like I said earlier, this now society where if things don't happen with a preconceived notion of time, we're getting
flying elves are back.
Bored with it.
Well, plus, I mean, let's face it, humanity is not
patient.
Well, it's not patient, but at the same time, I'm looking at the other side of it. I mean, humanity is not as faulted as it seems like we are, and I think this is really. I'm sorry, we've got a gnat flying around and it keeps buzzing my face. This is really where you're going to start to see day 3 or so is where you're also going to start to see the good side of people.
Oh yeah.
And when I see these groups start to come together, everybody, no matter how evil of a person you are. You have somebody, at least 1 or 2 people that you genuinely care about. And you're going to want to be around those people. Yeah. I mean, this is it. This is the end. This is your last chance to be with the ones that you love. So when these groups start to come together, that's what that is. This is friends. This is family. This is, what I call my handful. I have, I've got my family, the people I'm related to. I've got my friends, but by friends, that's basically just casual acquaintances, people that I'll comment on their Facebook statuses or whatnot, but when we're, at the end of the day, we don't really hang out or we don't really whatever. And then I've got my handful. My handful is people like, say, Danny, who, if something were, I'm going to get mushy here for a second. If something were to happen to this guy, I don't know what I would do. I mean, these are the people that are closer than family, thicker than blood, that type of thing. Those groups of people are now coming together. They're throwing these just epic parties.
Yes.
And the groups will start to merge. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have like communities forming that are just these giant awesome things. And that's so the good side starts to come out day 3. This is going to carry over into day 4. I think that day 4, the only real difference with day 4, and I think this is about the time that it would happen. So we mentioned that you've got your militaries all come in. It's all hands on deck here. They start to walk away.
Yeah, I think day 4 is when a lot of people, and I know you guys out there in the professions of law enforcement and military and fire and rescue, you guys are going to do great jobs every day. Yeah. But it's going to come at that point where these people.
Yeah, don't take that as insulting by any means. Don't say that I'm saying that you would abandon your post. I'm saying that at some point in time, even those people are going to want to be with their families.
Yeah, they're going to say enough's enough, and it may be day 4, it may be day 5.
We're going to die anyway.
We're going to die. So what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to get thrown in jail or thrown in the brig for
They're not going to throw you. One, it would take them longer than that to find you, and are they really going to put forth the resources to do that when they've got bigger things to worry about?
They've got bigger things to worry about.
So some of those people start to walk away. Now, you will have people that will stay there till the end.
Yeah.
And hey, more power to you.
Yeah, I agree.
If that's what you want to do.
I think day 4 is the time when a lot of people are going to make some hard decisions. You're going to have families that are going to make decisions. Do we want our children to experience this, or are we going to want to end it beforehand?
Right.
There's going to be pregnant mothers that do we want to go through with. Day 4 is going to be the day of difficult decisions.
So you got a lot of suicides, things like that.
A lot of suicides.
This is where it really gets dark.
This is where it gets dark, guys. Just hang on with us. Hang on. Remember, this is hypothetical.
Yeah. So now we move into day 5. Now day 5, I think things turn around again. Day 5, the reality of everything is starting to sink in. That miracle isn't coming.
It isn't coming right now. Yeah, it's kind of gloom and doom on the horizon.
So now you kind of have a re-sparking of what you had over the first couple of days. Now, you've got, at this point in time, you've kind of got 5 types of people. You've got your people that just want to be with their loved ones. And they will, I think, stay that way to the end.
Those communities we talked about earlier,
those communities will
probably going to stay till the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You then have people that will just completely shut down.
Yep, they'll lock the doors, close the blinds, and they will
spend their remaining days alone.
Yep.
In a catatonic state, just waiting for it all to go in. I think I'm going to group in that same group of people. That's also where your people that decide to get out early.
Get out early, yeah.
Group 3, you've got your fanatics that we mentioned. By this point in time, they're starting to become a bigger part of the problem than even group 4, which is your people that just have no concern for human life whatsoever, and they just basically purge for the next few days. Yeah. And I will be honest with you, I completely forgot what group 5 was. We discussed this beforehand. Group 5 was just people that are excess and ecstasy.
Yeah, that are just...
So, they just, I'm going to go out and just party for the next 7 days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that leads us now...
Day 6.
Day 5, I think, is going to, like I said, day 4's hard choices, day 5's hard choices. But I do believe that those core groups are going to stick through to the end. You're going to have deserters. You're going to have people who are like, guys, this I got to be alone. Mm-hmm. You're going to have people who are going to wander off into the woods, do their own thing. And that's, again, hypothetical.
Day 6, everything comes to a head.
Yeah, day 6 is the big one. Because now you've got 48 hours left.
You've got all of these people. Panic is now starting to set in.
Yeah.
So now there is nothing more dangerous than someone with nothing left to lose who is panicking.
Yes.
In a desperate situation. So take all of those 5 groups, push them to their extreme. Now you have... So the only group of people that are, I don't want to say safe, but not a threat at this point, are your people that are just spending time with their loved ones. Because these guys, they've got their block party going on, and they're just gonna keep doing that. I mean, until the final moments.
Yeah, those are going to be the ones that I think, if you can call safe, those are the safe havens.
Your people that just want to watch the world burn, that's what they're doing now.
Yeah,
they're literally burning it all to the ground.
They're killing. There's going to be a lot of loss of life before this, guys, because humanity is just in of itself is bad.
We are a violent creature.
We're a violent creature. cities are going to burn. There's going to be mass cities on fire. Places: London, New York, Chicago, L.A., Atlanta, Miami, Moscow, Paris. These big cities where
Burned
the big populations
to the ground.
are going to be on fire. We may not even ever see what's happening because we could be shrouded in smoke and
Right.
smog.
I mean, and it's entirely possible that the entire human race could be gone long before day 7.
Yeah.
But speaking of day 7, day 7 rolls around, silence.
Yeah, I think
Absolute silence.
if there's anybody left at this point, they're where they want to be, and they aren't going to be causing a whole lot of problems. I mean, you're going to have your ones off.
If you were to step outside in the busiest city in the world, let's just hypothetically, let's say you're in Times Square, New York City. You step outside, and all you hear is breeze and birds.
I'm going to throw this back. 9/11 was the creepiest few days I had ever seen when there were no jets in the sky in the United States. It was
so
odd.
I mean, yeah, just removing airplanes from the equation, it was oddly quiet.
And it was very quiet. And I think it's going to be even quiet.
I think that this is going to be absolute silence, because now you've got pretty much everybody that's around is going to, like you said, they're going to be where they want to be.
Yeah, they're going to be with where they want to be and who they want to be with.
These are our final hours on this earth. We're going to get to. I'm going to be with my loved ones. I'm going to be in my favorite spot. You know, doing whatever.
There's still going to be the parties.
And I think even with the parties though, I mean, there will be some where they're just going to celebrate all the way to the impact.
But for the most part,
fear is sinking in. Reality has sunk in, and now it's about to happen.
Yeah, and
we are
going to wait till they can see it.
If we still have power, we're watching the news.
Mm-hmm.
If the news is even still going, we're watching the sky. We're waiting for it to come in. We're looking for any kind of glimpse of it, of seeing it come in.
Yeah.
But I think that there will be so much fear, and the other side of it, though, is by this point in time, acceptance. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, we're going to be afraid and we don't want it to happen, but by this point in time, we know we're moments away from the end.
Peace we're going to make.
Yeah. Because it's too late to make any new peace, that's for sure. So yes.
Anything different. So that takes us through our 7 days.
So what would you do? Where would you go?
Where would you fit on the?
I'm asking you. Where would you be?
I agree. I would probably be one of the excess and ecstasies. Mm-hmm. I would get my handful. I call them my tribe, and those are the people I would want to be around.
Yeah. I think I would try to convince as many of my closest friends and family. I mean, obviously everybody's going to be pulling everybody in every direction, but I would try to get. Automatically, I mean, first and foremost, I'm getting my daughter.
Yeah.
And if I have to bring, the ex with me and everything, so be it. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that.
Well, at that point, you really can't have a problem with that.
Yeah, there's no point to have a problem with it.
There's no point to have a problem.
So, I mean, even if that means I'm coming with you, fine. Mm-hmm. If we're going somewhere else, that's fine. And then I'm going to turn and try to convince him and the rest of my handful to come with us. I mean, why not? I mean, the location really doesn't matter at that point. The only thing that matters is the people that you're around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Fridays, we allow Fridays to run long, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. Because what it all boils down to is, we've talked a lot this week about the worst possible things that can happen. So it really boils down to, and here's your light spin on it, we never know how much time we've got left in this earth. So just... don't be someone that don't hold grudges. Don't cause drama. Just be cool.
Just be cool with each other, guys. I mean, that's the main thing.
What does it hurt to just be cool with people?
To let things go.
Yeah.
I mean, we all
If somebody offends you, someone hurts you, someone insults you, so?
Yeah. Turn the other cheek.
Move on. Find something that makes you happy and go with that. Don't worry about all those other people out there. I don't know. That's something that always bugs me. But so So just comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. tell us what you would like to do. Where will you be
Yeah.
in that last 7 days?
Yeah. Follow us on our social media pages.
All the stuffs
right
here, the
All
Facebooks,
stuff
the
right there.
Instagrams, the Twitters. Do the things.
And Scoochie just had an accident off camera.
Yeah. And until next week, guys, well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And, get those friends to come in and subscribe as well. We will be doing some more of the Amazon gift card challenges and things like that. So bring as many people onto the show as you possibly can. We hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. And until then...
Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi, I'm Mindy.
And this is your Russian Cook of the Day.